Hello, fellow diecast collectors. Today I want to do a video on what I think reasonable pricing for cars is that aren't really priced that way, and I would love for the community to change. It seems like a lot of us are pretty mean to each other, and some of us are in this hobby for the wrong reasons. We know, all of us know about the scalpers, and they're always trying to justify what they're doing is good. If you were a person that goes out and buys five of the same super or 10 of the same super, I'm sorry, but you're awful. You probably nobody in the community wants you here. I know I sure don't. I personally, if I seen another one of these, I probably wouldn't pick it up. I might, but I wouldn't pick it up for reselling reasons. I've seen a cool thing on Instagram lately where someone's been posting color variations of this. I know it's a joke; they're just messing around in Photoshop, but I would probably paint one blue. I think this car would look quite cool in blue. Um, I am a customizer, so I justify buying a lot of the same car because I customize them. I think the only people that should buy a lot of the same car are customizers because, we buy them for reasons other than, you know, reselling. And I think that's still truly a collector thing because you're buying them to do something with them. And yeah, uh, some people don't care what their cars are worth. I could care less that this is a super. I've opened it. I don't care. I have a ultra red Ford F-150 that I've opened. This is an RLC car. I've opened it. I literally do not care what they are worth. I think they're worth, what they originally costed. I know whoever, is reselling them, they gotta make something off them and stuff. But most of these people, I also see it so funny. All of these people are like, oh, what about the gas it took these people to find all of these, to find the super? You realize that most of the people on eBay that sell the supers, a lot of them probably have more than one. Some people, no, they don't. They only have like one, but a lot of them can have more than one. And they go to a bunch of different stores and they just know when the stuff's coming in and they grab it. And I mean, if that's what you do, I mean, I guess good for you. You probably have no life. You just do it to make money off of people like me that actually want to have a car in their collection. And it's sad because if we would just, us true collectors for a while, just wouldn't go online and pay these terrible people what they want for the cars, they would stop. If we just wouldn't feed the scalpers, so to say, they would disappear overnight. Like, well, not overnight. It'd probably take a good 2 years or so. But if we just let them wallow in their own stupidity of buying so many of the same car, or these people that buy the main lines and sell them for super expensive prices, you are an awful, awful, awful person. I don't know what honestly makes people think that paying $20 to $30 for a dollar car is okay. Like, I can see maybe paying 30, maybe 40 for a super. That I can justify because, even if you do get to the store first to get into a case of these, there's no guarantee this is going to be there because I have opened multiple cases of these, and I've only found this one. And I've gotten to lots of cases first because there's not too many collectors in my area. And I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want a bunch of people moving in on my territory. I have a pretty good area where I don't have too big of a scalper problem. I do have a couple, but I don't have a lot. But yeah, I can justify paying maybe 35, maybe 40 for a super, but the price let's talk about the gold super Honda Civic. Why in the name of all that is holy is that car 80 to $100? It it's nothing that special. It's just a gold Civic that says T Hunt on it, and it says TH on it, and it's got rubber tires. And we got people paying buku bucks for this thing, and they're saying it's justifiable. It's not, man. That car is not that old, and it's because the JDM people that they hype stuff so much to where it just becomes a dumb price. Any import car, I feel like, gets stupidly overpriced. Like it just it makes me mad, honestly. Because I know I'm never gonna get one of those Civics. Like I'm never gonna find that thing. If I do, I'm gonna have to get lucky and find one like in my area because I'm never paying what people want for that thing. That is ridiculous. But I want to talk about cars that are justifiable at $100 or 50 or whatever. Now, like I said, a super I feel like is justifiable for 30, maybe 40. I feel like is a good price for a super. But I don't think people should be going out and just, grabbing every single one. I mean, it's kind of good that you got people that are selling them for people, maybe they really want it. They can't find it in their area. I'm not saying selling on eBay is an awful thing, but when, I mean, you got to make a profit, right? But a car you paid $1 for, $100, that's just being greedy at that point. And I don't know who the person is or who the people are that started paying that for the car. You're the problem, because if you would have never paid that for that car originally, that seller would have just went boom 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 boom. And if no one's going to buy it, eventually they're going to be like, okay, no one's buying this. I got it to get rid of it. uh what do I do now? Like, if we just did not pay the prices the scalpers wanted for these things, they would go down. They would. They would have no choice. Or they would just hold on to them, which could be a possibility, but not all of them probably would do that. But if you would wait, like, I also would say the internet's ruining collecting too, because of the internet and because how people gotta feel special and I guess flex that they have some kind of car or something. I don't know what the big deal is. Ooh, it's a treasure hunt. Oh, ooh, I feel special. Like I got a super. Like I'm better than every other collector because I have one. No, I'm not. I just got to the right place at the right time, or whatever. It don't matter. This is just, at the end of the day, it's just a stupid piece of metal shaped like a car with wheels. That's what it is. And it's just a little bit different than the other one that's got plastic wheels. It's just shiny and it has a label on it and rubber tires. I don't know. I feel like 35 to 40 would be okay for this car. That's probably how much this honestly goes for. I don't think this is one that's got super hype behind it, but these people that hype up these cars on social media and stuff, and they really need to quit because they're ruining the hobby. And if you're one of the people you say you're an investor, get out. Just get out of this hobby. I don't want you here. There's probably other people that do not want you here. You know, some people will never get certain cars because of jerks that want to make them super expensive. Like, I know myself, I'm never going to get one of those Civics because I'm not paying that. And I'm also not ever going to get one of those Toyota 4Runners because my area never got that Boulevard set. They skipped right over it. The one with the white one last year, I never even saw it. I went to the store every day to try to find it, never even showed up. And now that thing is stupidly overpriced, and I'm not paying that. And I don't know why that is justified either, because they've made probably so many of those, and I don't know why. It just makes me so mad that people think it's okay to pay that much for something this size. Like a red line club car, like this right here. This is like, I think, a thank you or something for buying red line club cars or something like that. This, I paid $50 for it. I think, or 40, I think. That's justifiable, because if you think about it, red line club cars, you have to have a membership, and then I believe most of them cost $20 to $30 for the car alone. Someone's got to make their profit right. So $50, $60 for a red line club car is not bad. And then you got cars that are from the 80s, like original red lines and stuff like that. I am not hating on anyone that sells those for the prices they do, because they are, at the end of the day, hard to come by in good condition. Not everybody knows how to restore them, and the people that do, they should get their money's worth. It's probably hard. I've never restored one myself, but I know they don't come apart like typical Hot Wheels. The rivets are different. I've never taken apart one, and I probably never will, because I probably won't never own that many of them. I'm actually after most of the anniversary ones because, well, this one here, if I would have got the original red line version of this Camaro, it would have cost me over like $300 to $200. If I got the original one from like the 60s, would have cost me a lot more than this one. So yeah, that I justified paying that for this. I got this for my birthday, and I love this car. I also have the 4-car set that's got the Nitty Gritty Kitty, the Heavy Chevy, um, Light My Firebird, and I think King Cuda. Uh, those are all red line cars. They actually look better than this one. They have more details than this one, and those are really cool cars. I paid not that much for those actually, but I feel like, you know, I don't know. It's just sad that collecting has become what it is, because, you know, it'd be nice if, you know, a lot more people could have supers. A lot more people could have cars they really want, because not everyone has a ton of money. There are poor people like myself that, you know, we're not going to go out and pay 70 to $100 for one singular car. That's ridiculous to us. And I don't see why rich people have to come in and ruin the hobby for us people that, don't have a lot of money. Like me, I do this for my mental health. I collect cars for my mental health because I can't work, and there's a lot of things wrong in my life, and it helps my pain by collecting cars. And I love my cars. I do stop motion with them. I love taking photography with them. Like one of these days, I'd love to take a picture of this on a flatbed trailer and looking like it's connected up to last year's Ford F100 Super. I found that too last year. I was digging in a dump bin and I found that. That was actually my first Super I've ever found in the wild when I was seriously into collecting. Back when I was younger and I wasn't really seriously into it because of reasons I won't get into in this video, because this video will be way too long, and that's not the topic of this video. I found a Super of a Dodge Viper. It was gold, and it was at a store called Myers, and I saw it. I knew what it was, and I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty special, and it looks different. And I bought it just because I thought it was cool looking. I didn't care that it was valuable or anything. I was just like, oh, it looks cool. I'll get it. Like, treasure hunts, they do look really cool. Like, these are rare enough that I feel like 30, 40, even 50 sometimes is not bad for these. And I guess as the age of them gets older, it would make sense for the value of it to go up. And I'm sorry, my phone is dying and my light just went off. But yeah, I feel like it's justifiable for supers, but it's not justifiable when it's $100. I don't even think some red line club cars. There are some that are 100. I don't think they should be 100. I think maybe cars should go up a little bit in value over the years, but nothing super crazy. Like, let's say right now this is like 50, maybe $40, and then next year, because it's like a year old, it goes up to 80. That would be ridiculous. In 10 years, yeah, maybe this car will be $80. That probably would be terrible, because at that point it's going to become more hard to find. I think things that are like not around anymore because people already have them in their collection is okay to have them overpriced. But things that are new, and there's a lot of them and people are just hoarding them, they're not worth it. They're not. They're not worth it at all. They aren't. They are not worth it at all. And if you think I didn't open this, I totally did. I can't open it right now. You can see it a little bit. Yeah, I see right there. It's a little damaged. I opened it. I love this car. It's one of my favorites. But yeah. Cars, once they get to be 10, 20, 25 years old, I feel like, the price of them should go up. Like the original black walls and, stuff like that. The prices those are, yes, I don't want to pay for them, but I can see why they cost that much. They're old. Kids have played with them. They're not easy to find in very good condition. And I mean, a lot of kids aren't going to play with supers, but in 20 years, 10 years time, this thing is not going to be as common as it is right now. And there's not going to be as many of them on the internet. Like right now, I bet if you went on eBay, there'd be probably maybe 100, maybe 200, maybe even 1,000 of these for sale. But in 10 years, uh, there probably won't be too many. It'll probably be like maybe 5, maybe 6. They're not going to be as common, is what I'm saying. I'm, guess what I'm trying to say is cars should only be expensive once they get old. When they're new, it makes no sense for them to be the price they are, just because people got to be jerks and grab them all. That's why they're so expensive, because people are wrongly hyping up the price of them by getting so many of them that no one else can get them. And then they're like, oh, I got them all. I can sell them for whatever I want. And, if people wouldn't pay that, that would stop. People really need to stop paying what these people want for these cars, and they would quit. And that's why I'm so excited about this Amazon Black Box thing. And I've already ordered every single one that is on there this year, and I'm going to keep checking every month. I'm going to get every single one. I hope this is something that stays permanent, because I never want to pay a stupid amount of money for a mainline. Like, I was seeing some mainlines go for anywhere to $20 to $30 for a car that's only $1, and it wasn't even a super. It's just a regular everyday mainline, and it's like, really? Like, these people that sell them for that much, you are ruining the hobby for people like me that are in it because we love the cars. We love to have them, look at them, and we don't really care what they're worth. There are a lot of people actually that do not care what their cars are worth. And I know a lot of people like that. If you are someone that cares what your cars are worth, I don't call you a true collector, because at the end of the day, I think collecting should be about, helping out another person. If someone wants a car, and you have a lot of that car, you should help them out, and let them buy one off you for just a couple dollars more or something like that. I don't expect people to give stuff away, but I one time, I'll tell you a little story about a monster truck, the snake bite treasure hunt monster truck. I bought one at a store. I went back in the store later that night. There was still another one. There was this guy looking around. He had it in his hand and he put it back. And I was like, hey, I don't know if you knew this or not, but that's a treasure hunt. He was like, what does that mean? I said, well, it means it's like not something you're going to find every day. And he was like, oh, so it's special? I said, yeah. And I went and got it and I gave it to him and I'm gonna tell you, I just got one this morning. It's a cool truck and it's worth a lot of money. I said, I'm just being honest with you, collector to collector, because I got talking with him. He seemed like a nice guy. He said, oh, I just buy what I like. And, I never shop online or anything like that. I was like, you know what? This guy seems really nice. He seems like a legit collector. And I was like, you know what, dude? I was like, this right here is a treasure hunt. And he's like, I've never heard of one. I said, well, here you go. I said, here's your first one. I said, here it is. It's kind of hard car to find, and I got one this morning, so I don't need another one. I said, here you go, man. And he was like, wow, thanks. That's really nice. People don't really ever do that. And I said, yeah. I said, I wish more people would. It'd be nice if you didn't have to look at another collector as an enemy, and you could look at them as a friend. Because whenever I see other collectors at the store, I always look at them as an enemy, because nowadays most of them are out to get them for the money. And if I start talking to you and I find out you're in it for the good, right reasons, heck, dude, I'll start telling you about good places to get cars and stuff. And then I got in a conversation with this one guy one time, and he told me about a store where you can get original red lines for $1. And I won't tell anybody about that store because, there's people that will go there and get them and sell them for a lot of money, and I could never afford those. So, like I said, those cars are justifiable at that price, but if I find them for cheap, I'm gonna take them. And the store that sells them knows what they're worth. I told them, I was like, yo, these are worth like 100, like $200, $300 a car. And they're like, oh, we don't care. We get them from auctions and estate sales and stuff. We just are trying to make a little bit of cash here and there. We're not losing any money on them. And I was like, okay. And I bought a few of them. And I did open them. Like, I open everything I have. I love opening it because you can actually look at it and enjoy it. It's awesome. But yeah, I get why some people keep their stuff in the package. It's cool to look at it on the wall. If you're like that, I'm not going to say you're not a true collector because you keep your stuff in the package. You just like having your collection different than me. I like opening my stuff. You like keeping your stuff in the package. Cool. you know if I had the room in my house, I might have a package collection. And I understand that too. If you buy two supers because you want to open one, you want to keep one in the package, cool. That's cool. Or you buy two because you got friends and you want to give one to them, cool. That's really nice of people to do. I talked to some guy at a store in Indiana I went to, and he was telling me he buys 5 to 6 and whatever supers he could find, and he shares them with his friends. He even asked me if I wanted one. He didn't have one on him, but he thought he did, and he was gonna let me buy one for $5. And I would have done that. That was really cool. More people should be like that. I love people in the community that are just, you know, nice to one another. And I'm not going to say the old people are the only nice people. Most of the time, it is older guys that are the ones that do that. But I've met some younger people my age too. Like I met some people that are like 19, 20, and they're cool too. They don't collect for value. They collect for what they like, and they're really nice. And they will ask you, "Hey, is there anything good?" And then they'll be like. And one time I went up there and I was looking. I went up there to look at cars. There's some guy already up there. And he told me, he said, hey, if you're after that Toyota, the one that came out this year, the then and now, the Supra, the first version, not the newer one, I was after it. And he was like, hey, man, he was like, if you're after one of those Toyotas, I left 3 of them on the pegs. And I was like, dude, thank you. I'm actually after one. He was like, oh, cool. I was like, cool, man. You're not a reseller? He's like, no. He's like, I just buy what I like. He had like 3 of them. And he said, I got one for me to play with, one to keep in the package, and one to put loose in my collection. I was like, that's cool. I never thought of getting one to play with. If I had the money, I probably would buy one of every single car to play with because Hot Wheels are fun to play with. They are. I have some that I personally buy the ones with orange tires and the X Racers. I buy doubles of those because they're really fun to play with on the tracks and jump off of tables and stuff because they roll really good and they're fun to play with. I buy a lot of those. Every time an X Racer or an orange wheeled car comes out, I get them. I get 2 of them because they're fun. Sometimes I get more than that if it's a car I like because I want to paint it. But yeah, like I bought myself personally, I bought 30 of the Chevy Silverado, the green one, the 83, because I wanted to paint them, and I got a bunch of them. And if you're gonna do that, I feel like that's okay. Some people like to customize, and you need stuff to customize. But I just wish more people would be, nice to one another in the community and, you know, help a fellow collector out. Like me, if I found two supers, I would, if I was in the store and I found two supers, I saw another collector and I got talking with him and found out he was a nice, reasonable person and wasn't a reseller. I would give him the other super. I'd be like, hey, here you go. Here's a super. And he'd probably be like, oh, wow, thank you. I mean, it depends on the car. If it's something I like, I'd probably keep it and maybe paint it. Because I'm not going to lie, if I found another one of these, I might paint it silver or blue. Because it looks pretty cool. But, yeah, I just wish more people would be nice to each other. Like, it seems like there's so much fighting and so much arguing in the community now. And it's really sad, and there's arguing between scalpers and collectors, and I just wish things could just be collectors, like real collectors, not people that collect for money. I don't like those people so much, and they're the ones that cause the fighting in the community because they want to justify what they're doing, and the thing is, it's not justifiable. And if you're somebody that wants to justify it, you're just trying to do that because you're trying not to be mad at them. I've been there. I've tried to justify them, and I can't. Like, they are being pieces of crap. They are. And, you know, I can't justify what they're doing because of them, some people will never have certain cars in their collection that they really want. It's not right to people that, don't have a lot of money to spend on cars. It's like some people don't actually even just collect uh, because they like it. Some people actually do it because it's like their medicine for their depression. Like me myself, I'm kind of like that, but I also collect because I like them. But I've met some people, they just collect because you know they're old and depressed, that they don't have anything really to do in their lives, and they just go out and get the cars and try to give themselves something to do. And I know that's probably what some of the people do that get a lot of supers. Like, I understand these old retired guys going around and getting as many as they can. They don't really have much left to do with their life, and they're bored, and it gives them something to do. I understand that. And usually those people aren't the ones that are on eBay selling them for dumb amounts of money. Those are usually the people, like I said, that are giving them out to people, and maybe they're putting them on the internet and selling them for like $10, because sometimes they do. I've seen them on there for $10. They're not on there for very long because probably somebody that's doing it for the wrong reason gets on their buys like, oh, this guy's stupid, he's selling it for $10, I'm gonna buy it, turn around, sell it for this. And I don't know, I just feel like I wish it wasn't like that. Sometimes I just don't really want to be in this hobby anymore because it's just sad how like some of us treat each other. And and you can call me whatever you want and say whatever you want to me. I don't care, but I don't know why you got to be like that. It's a toy car. Okay, I don't know why people have to get so angry and defensive over them. I mean, I'm angry because there are certain cars I would love to have. Like, I'd love to have one of those Toyota 4Runners, but I'm not going to pay $70 for it, and I don't think anybody should. That's ridiculous. Matchbox is coming out with a 4Runner, and I'm going to get that one and make that white and lift it. So I will be able to find that. Matchboxes are pretty good in my area. I have a lot of Dollar Generals. Dollar Generals are typically where you want to check for matchboxes. They have some of the ones that are pretty hard to find. And I have at least 7 Dollar Generals that are really close to me. So I got a lot of chances to find the 4Runner. They don't get Hot Wheels in too much around me, but they do get in matchboxes. And I'm probably going to get a few 4Runners for my collection to paint. And I got a lot of the moving parts FJ Cruiser because I wanted to lift some and paint them and stuff. And I feel kind of bad because I bought probably all of them in my area, but I need them for customizing purposes. And I don't have a car. I use an e-bike, so it's not fun for me to go to another town. It takes about 3 hours, 6 hours there and back. But yeah, um, if you watch this, thank you so much, and just be nice to one another. Man, they're just toy cars. I don't get why there's got to be so much. I don't get why I got to feel like another collector is my enemy. You gotta feel. I feel like that all the time. If I don't know them, it's like you know they're here to take everything. I don't know. It's just it's sad. It really is. I remember when I was younger when you could talk to another collector and they were really friendly and nice and they would even give you a treasure hunt sometimes. Like my first ever treasure hunt, some guy gave me at a Kmart thing when I was a little kid. He found three of them and he gave me one. I had a super right in my hand in a box, and there was this young kid. I didn't even know what I had, and I put it back. It was a Camaro. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't really like it, but if I would have known it was a super, I probably would have kept it because I never had one before. But I didn't really know what it was, and it looked weird to me, and I didn't really want it. And then I heard this guy say, "Oh, this idiot kid left this super in here, and he took it." And that was how I lost my first ever super. And then some old guy got upset and he tried to find me another one and he couldn't. But he did find me a couple cars I like and gave them to me. This was when I was like 8 or 7, maybe 9. But yeah, um, that was back when, people were a little more nicer. And I think probably the scalpers were starting to get to be a thing. Probably around that time. It started with the younger people. I don't think the older people started it. But yeah. But all right, guys. I'm going to end this here. I just wish we could all be nice to one another. And if you want to say hi in the comments, go ahead. I love talking to fellow collectors that collect for you know the right reasons. It's really cool to talk to other collectors and get to know people. I miss that from days past. I wish it wasn't about hype now and flexing and stuff. It used to just be about being nice to one another, and you see another collector like, oh hey, hi, how's it going? And the older people are so nice, they really are. I see a lot of them, and I love running into the older guys. They're really nice. I know there's some that are mean, but a lot of the ones I run into are pretty nice. I hear stories about people saying, oh, this old gal push kids out of the way and stuff. I've seen a couple of them like that, but you know I just wish, we could be nice to one another and help each other out and, just make friends. That's really what this collector thing should be about, is making friends. Like the Lego community, those people are like really close and they stick together and, you know, it's a wonderful community. I've been a part of it and they're really nice people, I wish the diecast community could be more like that, be nice to one another and, there weren't so many mean people. Maybe there are mean people in the Lego community, but it's rare from my view. But yeah. Let me know if you got any stories of any really nice collectors you've met out in the wild hunting. Uh, but yeah, I'll see you guys later, and let me know if you want to see some of my cars. I have lots of cool ones, fantasy ones, dollar store cars. Just name a brand or a type of car, and I might have it. And if I do, we can take a look at all the colors and variations I have. I love sharing my cars with people. All right. I'll see you guys later.